It was the summer of '96, and my family decided to take a vacation in Catskill, New York. We found ourselves in a charming resort with lush greenery, a sparkling lake, and an arcade that seemed frozen in time. Little did I know, this quaint arcade held an encounter that would haunt my nightmares for years to come. One gloomy evening, the rain painted a symphony on the rooftop, and the neon lights of the arcade flickered like distant thunderstorms. Intrigued by the hypnotic glow, I slipped away from my family, their laughter blending with the pitter-patter of raindrops. The arcade was empty except for the humming of ancient machines and the soft echo of my sneakers against the worn-out carpet. As I wandered deeper into the dimly lit space, a fogged-up glass door caught my attention. Behind it, an eerie silhouette danced in the dim light. My curiosity piqued, and I cautiously approached the door. Peering through the mist, I expected to find a Halloween prop, something crafted to scare the laughter out of kids. But what I saw sent shivers down my spine. A humanoid figure, motionless, stared back at me with vacant eyes. Its pallid skin clung to its skeletal frame, and its tangled hair hung like a curtain, obscuring most of its face. Panic set in as I realized this was no decoration. It was a person who seemed frozen in time, trapped behind that fogged-up door. I stumbled back, heart pounding, and my mind raced with thoughts of who or what this figure could be. As if aware of my presence, the figure slowly raised a bony hand, pressing it against the glass. I could almost feel its cold touch through the fog. Terrified, I sprinted back to my family, pouring out the strange encounter. They dismissed it as a figment of my imagination, blaming it on an overactive child's mind. But the image of that haunting figure lingered in my thoughts, casting a shadow over the remainder of our vacation. Years passed, but the memory of that night haunted me. I delved into the history of the resort, hoping for some rational explanation. What I discovered sent a chill down my spine. The resort had a dark past, with rumors of a missing persons case from the '70s. The description matched the figure I had encountered. The person lost and forgotten, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. My advice to you, dear listener, if something feels off, don't dismiss it as mere imagination. Some mysteries are best left unsolved, for the truth may be more haunting than you can imagine. And if you ever find yourself in an old arcade on a rainy night, beware the fogged-up glass door, for you might glimpse the figure that should never have been seen. It all started innocently enough. I had met Alyssa at a friend's party, and we hit it off. We went on a couple of dates, nothing serious, just enjoying each other's company. Little did I know that those carefree days would soon turn into a living nightmare. One day, after a casual evening at Dave & Buster's with my new date, I received a chilling text message. It was a picture of us at the arcade, taken from a distance. The sender claimed to be Elisa's brother and warned me to stay away from his sister. Bewildered and slightly frightened, I dismissed it as a prank. But the messages kept coming, each one more threatening than the last. The stalker seemed to know my every move. They described what I was wearing, where I was going, who I was with. I began to feel the eyes of an unseen watcher, a silent predator lurking in the shadows. One night, the messages took a sinister turn. The stalker sent a photo of my house taken from outside. My heart raced as I recognized the distinct red door of my home. The message that accompanied the photo sent shivers down my spine. I'm watching you. Fear consumed me as paranoia set in. I installed security cameras, changed my routine, and even considered involving the police. But then came the night when the nightmare reached my doorstep. I heard a tapping on my window, slow and deliberate. My breath caught in my throat as I approached cautiously. To my horror, the stalker stood outside, wearing a grotesque mask resembling Alyssa's face. Panic set in as the figure whispered, "You can't escape." In a desperate attempt to protect myself, I grabbed my Glock 19 and confronted the intruder. A tense standoff unfolded, culminating in a shattering crash. The stalker had smashed a window, and in the chaos, I fired a warning shot. The masked figure fell to the ground, revealing not Alyssa's brother, but someone I had never seen before. Bloodied and defeated, the stalker gasped, "She's mine," before losing consciousness. The police arrived shortly after, and as they arrested the stalker, I couldn't help but wonder who this person was and what twisted obsession led them to terrorize my life. As I reflected on the ordeal, one piece of advice echoed in my mind. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, take it seriously. The nightmare might be over for me, but for others, the danger could still lurk in the shadows. Be vigilant, be cautious, and don't underestimate the power of intuition. In a world where nightmares can become a reality, sometimes the scariest monsters wear a familiar face. As the rain tapped rhythmically on the dimly lit streets, Jake and I ventured into the old arcade, seeking refuge from the storm. The neon lights flickered overhead, casting eerie glows on the worn-out carpets and outdated arcade machines. The nostalgia was palpable as we eagerly inserted coins into the dusty slots, the faint scent of popcorn and cotton candy lingering in the air. Our laughter echoed through the empty arcade as we challenged each other to classic games. Amidst the beeps and whirs of the machines, an unsettling feeling crept over us. I noticed a peculiar man in the corner, a lanky figure with greasy hair and a threadbare coat, watching us intently. Ignoring the unease, we continued our games until the odd man approached, his eyes fixed on the screen. "Ah, the classics. Haven't seen kids play these in ages," he mumbled, invading our personal space. Uncomfortable, we exchanged uneasy glances, trying to shake off the feeling that something was amiss. The man's comments grew increasingly unsettling as he critiqued our every move. He hovered, a dark cloud in our small world of flashing lights. Suddenly, he reached out, his cold hand grazing Jake's shoulder. We recoiled, darting away, but the man persisted, his persistence transforming into a sinister fixation. Fueled by fear, we decided to leave, but the man trailed behind us. The rain outside intensified, providing cover for our anxious footsteps. Yet the man followed, his car's headlights casting elongated shadows in our wake. Panic set in as we realized the danger we were facing. We sprinted through the slick streets, our breath visible in the cold night air. The man's footsteps echoed ominously behind us. As we turned a corner, we stumbled upon an alleyway, a narrow escape route from our pursuer. Hiding behind rusty dumpsters, we caught our breath, praying he wouldn't find us. Silence hung in the air, broken only by the distant wail of sirens. Slowly we peeked out, relief washing over us. The man was nowhere to be seen. We cautiously emerged from our hiding spot, but our relief was short-lived. As we reached the end of the alley, a realization hit us like a sledgehammer. The man's reflection glared back at us from the wet pavement. He was right behind us, his malevolent grin etched into the puddles. With terror driving our every step, we ran, each footfall punctuated by the splashing rain. The man's laughter echoed through the empty streets, sending shivers down our spines. Finally, we reached the safety of a busy street, gasping for air. The man vanished into the shadows, leaving us haunted by the encounter. As we caught our breath, a lesson emerged from the night's horrors. Be wary and never underestimate the darkness that may lurk in the most unexpected corners of your nostalgia. And as you venture into the night, remember, sometimes the past isn't the only thing that follows you.